J'aime le jambon et le saucisse. J'aime le jambon, c'est bon. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to here. Today we're going to talk about something, okay? Today we're going to talk all about the modes. Maybe you've heard to them being explained before as the major scale starting at different points. But maybe you still don't even know what the heck that means. It's still so ambiguous. If you're starting from a different point of a scale, aren't you still playing in that scale just at a different point? Hello? And so today, I'm gonna clear that up for you, okay? Hopefully, I hope so. First of all, I'm gonna get the lipstick out of my sock that I put in there for I don't know why. Second of all, we're going to continue. So we have 7 modes of the scales. We have 7 modes, okay? And they all do stem from the major scale. Let's look at our C major scale, for example, all right? It's made up of a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th degree. Oh, I'm gonna play them. I'll play it, okay. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, once. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, once. And we're playing out of the E-shaped major scale, okay? And we're going to play our modes out of this exact same shape in this exact same area, okay? That's on the 8th fret right there. So great, we have all of our scale degrees mapped out in this shape, okay? In our C major scale here. And they're on the screen too, probably, right there, probably, I imagine. Yeah. And so playing the C major scale like this is called the Ionian mode. And that is the default mode. It's the major scale. Ionian and major is the same thing. And it's important to think of the major scale or the Ionian mode as the default setting. It's like a default setting of a default setting, okay? And so now let's try to conceptualize the idea of how we turn this major scale into a different mode by focusing on one mode, okay? We're gonna do the Dorian mode. Dorian, it's not about doors, you silly. Stop that, it's not about doors. Oh, I threw my pick and I need it now. Why did I do that? So the Dorian mode is the 2nd mode, okay? And it starts on the 2nd degree of the major scale. And so again, what does that mean? If we're playing on the 2nd degree of the C major scale, aren't we still playing the C major scale just on the 2nd degree? And listen, you're not wrong to question that. I've had that question too when I first started learning about modes. But no, they're 2 different scales. And so here's how I want you to start to visualize modes. Instead of thinking as Dorian mode, for example, as starting on the 2nd degree of the C major scale, think about it as turning that C major scale 2nd degrees into its 1st degrees. Okay, let me show you. So in our E-shaped C major scale, we have our 2nd degrees mapped out, right? And they're here, here, and there. But now to turn this into the Dorian mode, we're going to take those 2nd degrees and we're going to turn them into the 1st degrees, okay? Is that happening here? Did you see it? You see a move? They changed. And then the rest of the scale degrees are also going to follow accordingly, okay? And we'll talk about those scale degrees in a moment, okay? We'll talk about them in a moment. But first, let's talk about how changing the 1st degrees of these scales is what makes them 2 distinct scales. So playing the default C major scale with the 1st degrees in its default position sounds like this. Cute. And now let's hear what the Dorian mode sounds like with its 1st degrees in its new position, which is really the 2nd degrees of the C major scale turned into the 1st degrees. Yeah, cute, is it cute? Yeah, oh, yeah. See how they sound different? Okay, it sounds different. And it's not just because we started the C major scale in the 2nd degree, it's because we turned those 2nd degrees into the 1st degrees, okay? And so now those 2nd degrees, which are now your 1st degrees, okay, the Dorian mode, become your anchors, okay? It's the same, let me give you an example, okay? It's the same thing as the minor scale, which is the, what's the minor one called? The Aeolian, I forgot. Just like how the major and minor scale share shapes, they share shapes. And we switch between the major and minor scale just by switching our 1st degrees, okay? Another video about that. I'll link a video where I talk about that. But basically, let me do a refresher. The major scale 1st degrees are where we just talked about, right? And the minor scale 1st degrees are here and here, which is the 6th degrees of the major scale, right? Yeah, that we turn into the minor's 1st degrees, okay? So now we're gonna play the minor scale out of this exact same shape with the 1st degrees in these positions. Okay? So you see how we took this exact same E-shaped major scale and we were able to play both a major scale and a minor scale? And all we had to do was change where the first degrees were? Well, it's the same concept with the modes. And so again, instead of thinking about the modes as the major scale starting from different points, think about it as the modes turning different points of the major scale into its first degrees. Okay? Just like the minor scale, just like we do with the minor scale. It's a new single coming out with, it's called Take Me to the Doctor Immediately. And so now what scale is this? Okay, the original default scale was C major, but now that we're playing in the Dorian mode, what scale is it? It's Dorian, but Dorian what? Well, since the second degrees of the C major scale are the D notes, and those D notes are our first degrees now in the Dorian mode, this would be the D Dorian mode. And that's because the first degrees of a scale are that scale's key identifier, right? It lets you know what key your scale is in. And so, okay, great, this is D Dorian. Okay, fantastic, that's good, okay. But now back to the other scale degrees in this Dorian scale, okay? If we noticed, when we changed the first degrees, some of these scale degrees got all changed. Why do some of them have flats now all of a sudden? And that's because all the notes that we're playing are the exact same notes that are in the C major scale, right? Because we are sharing that exact same position on the fretboard. So those notes are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. But since the D note is now our first degree, the order changes, right? And the notes are D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And if we compare that to the D major scale, which is D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and C sharp, we see how in this D Dorian mode, the third degree and the seventh degree are flattened compared to the D major scale. And so really, what we're doing here is we are altering the D major scale by way of the C major scale. Does that make sense? And that's how you should think about modes, okay? Yeah, this Dorian scale has its own distinct sound, not because we're starting on the second note of the major scale, but because we have effectively flattened the third and seventh degree of the major scale, creating a whole new scale type. You know? And so also we've been doing this example out of the E-shaped major scale, but the same logic works for the rest of the four major scale shapes. So my eyes are burning. I'm just back here cleaning up the mess that I made. Don't mind me. Okay, here's what just happened. I put my water on the floor and then I knew I was gonna knock it over, but I did it anyways and I knocked it over. And I'm here cleaning it up. J'aime le jambon et le saucisse. It's okay, let's do one more mode, okay? We'll do the next one, we'll do the Phrygian mode. And that is the third mode of the major scale, which means it turns the major scale's third degrees into its first degrees. So let's do that, shall we? So we're going to take a look at our E-shaped C major scale here, and our third degrees are here and here. And we will take these third degrees, turn them into first degrees, and then have the rest of the scale degrees follow accordingly, right? And now we're going to play this scale with those new first degrees as the scale's anchors. Yeah! Look, I'm thirsty. And so again, you see how that sounds different? Okay, you see how that's different from the C major scale? All because we changed the first degrees of the scale, okay? And so now what Phrygian scale is this? It's Phrygian, but what is it? Well, the third degree of the C major scale is the E note, right? And that checks out because on the fretboard, these notes are E notes. And so this is the E Phrygian mode. Yeah. And so now again, let's look at the notes within the E Phrygian mode, okay? Those are again the same notes as C major, just with the E note in the first degree, okay? So the notes are E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. And now let's compare that with the E major scale. Well, we see that the second, third, sixth, and seventh degrees are all flattened, which is why those scale degrees change when we go into the Phrygian mode, okay? That's why. And so again, this makes an entirely new E-type scale, right? By way of the C major scale. You know? And so that's all, everyone, okay? That's it. That's it, those are modes. And so the same logic applies to the rest of the mode scales. They all turn their own respective degrees of the major scale into their first degrees. You know? So that's all. That's it, everyone. Thanks for watching and being my friend. I love to have you at my book club. I'd love to take you on a safari, far away. We could look at the lions play. Safari, far away. Watch the lions play. That's all, everyone. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all that you do. Don't forget to go over to megatripmusic.com. Get yourself a little pecan. And also get yourself the 70s and Guitar eBooks. We get 2 of them. And the 70s and Guitar Study eBook will especially help you in this whole mode situation because I got all the mode scale shapes all in there. They're all organized in there, all in the cage shapes. And we got the 70s and Beginner Guitar Guide. That's gonna help you on your beginner journey, okay? It tells you exactly what you need to learn in the beginning, okay? Yeah. And also we have the Key to Music Theory World Tour course. Woo! It's a course. Okay, it's all about the fundamentals of music. We talk about what keys are, how we build major scales, how we build chords from those scales, how we organize everything into keys. And so if you want to learn about music theory, that's where you start, okay? So that's all. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget, if ever you wanted to buy a little iguana, you could totally do that. You have to go to the pet store. You probably have to sign up and fill out an application because they take iguana adoptions very serious. And then once you get it, you're gonna have to feed it little pellets. And you know, the pellets are quite expensive because iguanas are quite expensive pet to maintain. But hey, you're the one who said you wanted an iguana. Just go over to the pet store. You fill out the application. You buy those pellets. You put them in your home. You put them in a corner of your house, and you scare all your guests when they come over. And they'll never want to come over ever again. But that's probably the point, isn't it? Don't forget to subscribe, because at 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna solve Rubik's Cube again for the world to see. You know, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for what you do. Don't forget, all of your shoes are broken. Not broken. Your shoes are broken. What did you do with your shoes? You wear your shoes too much. Where you wear them? Where you wear them? You wear them walking over a cheese grater? Why are your shoes broken holes in your shoes? There's no soles left in your shoes. Your shoes got no soles. What'd you do with your shoe soles? You better march over to the store and you get yourself some new shoes. And stop watching out cheese graters. Cheese graters are for cheeses. Monterey Jack, Gouda, Parmesan, cheddar, and Swiss. It's not shoe walking.